My recreational therapist probably made the biggest impact in my life. She's the one that kind of got me back involved in life and some of the other stories I've talked about, getting back into sports, getting back in things. I wanted to try to do the exact same thing for individuals with spinal cord injury. I was a finance major before I got hurt, and once I got injured, I decided to shift to something medical. Before I was injured, I was working full-time, going to school part-time, so I was able to pay for school myself. After I injured, I wasn't going to be able to do that, and vocational rehab helped me a ton. I contacted them, they helped pay for my school, they helped make things accessible for me. Most all colleges have a disabled division of rehab services. It helps make it to where your classes are all close together. So you can get, you got a 50-minute class, you only got 10 minutes to get from class A to class B. They put all your classes real close together or in the same building. Other things they did, the old Bert, I could write real fast, I could take the test in 45 minutes. Now with my disability, my hand impairment, I wasn't getting through that test in that amount of time. They would allow me to take the test with a scribe. It was very, very helpful and enabled me to get A's and B's instead of C's and D's. So I changed majors, changed schools, and my first job out of college was in Atlanta. I moved to Atlanta to work at Shepherd Spinal Center. My job title was Sports and Fitness Specialist. So I taught wheelchair sports 8 hours a day, 5 days a week to folks in wheelchairs with spinal cord injuries. And I love that job. Helping others, just like my rec therapist had helped me, was an awesome feeling. And I really enjoyed it, and I made a big impact on a lot of people's lives.
After personally working in healthcare for many years, and I'm sure you saw the same thing too, there was many people in chairs that were employed at the hospital. And I think whether your degree is in computer science or food and nutrition, whatever the degree may be, I think having your first job out in a hospital setting or a healthcare setting seems like that's a really good first step into the job force.
One advantage of being in a wheelchair is getting involved in the medical industry, getting involved in the sales or different ways of marketing with products you use, products like wheelchairs or catheters. It's easier for a hospital to hire you because they know that's the population they work with. It's easier for them to hire you than just a random company that doesn't know anybody with a disability.
I think, they need accounting services, they need computer services. There's so many different avenues that you could go into a hospital or senior center or any of those kind of places that would still utilize lots of different degrees and different skill sets for people with disabilities.
Being a rec therapist and using neurological supplies all the time, for my own personal needs, I use them bought from this company all the time. And the owner of the company contacted me one day, and because I was always real outgoing, real talkative and stuff, said, "Bert, have you ever considered sales?" And I had. People had always told me, "Bert, you're outgoing, you're talkative. Why don't you get in sales?" I just never have done it. And so I decided that would be a good time to do it. So I went to work for a medical supply company and worked for them for about 4 years. I was their first sales rep, and we ended up growing it, and that's how I got involved into sales.
Right when we first were engaged, he came to me and said, I think I'm gonna quit this job where I currently am. I'm like, what? That's security, you have a great job. But it was 6 months before we got married, and he's like, I think I want to start this business on my own.
Like I said, I worked for another company for 4 years, and I learned the business pretty well. And but I want to take the risk to do my own thing and do the business myself. And so one of the regional managers and I decided we'd break off and do it on our own. And so we did. And I started a company called Euromed. And for the next 18 years I had that company. And then I finally sold it and got involved in another company called Eurostat. So I'm now an owner at Eurostat Healthcare. And we do the exact same thing we did at Euromed. Hopefully we learned a lot of things to do and things not to do over those 18 years. So, we're trying to do that now, trying to just do a good job for everybody and be able to provide urological supplies and just do a good job for folks. Before my injury, I never had given thought to being a rec therapist or owning my own business and my own medical supply company. But after the injury, I saw that there were many opportunities that I had not thought of before.
We hope that you take that same approach to your next professional career and open your mind to the possibilities, because life can be bigger than you ever thought it would be.